Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm Tyler Campbell, one of your co-hosts, and I am joined by the amazing.
Michelle Witherspoon, and we are here back with you today to celebrate the last 2 amazing days of programming. Can you believe it, Tyler? 5 years of the virtual Black MS Experience Summit.
And listen, if you build it, they will come. 5 years, that is saying something, and that's something to celebrate. But Michelle, a lot of people might not know about before the program went virtual. Listen, you actually started it in person many years ago.
That's right. So Tyler and I've been talking in the background. I'm not going to try to get emotional as we go through this last day, but that's right. 20 years ago, myself, Beautiful Souls by Denise Bell, Shonda Carter, there were many others, but we consistently put on this dynamic annual conference for Black people living with MS. There's no way to list all the other people that stood up and helped and volunteered over the years. So thank you. And I'm not saying your names, but just know there's a heartfelt thank you to all of you. When we started this conference, our primary goal was to create a fun, a safe, an educational place for Black people living with MS and their family members, which is really important, to come and ask questions and to have fun and to learn how this disease affects our community. The ultimate outcome was for everyone to leave this conference, Tyler, stronger through connections and a better way to manage the disease. I have to say, Tyler, this conference would have stopped years ago without the support of the society. You know, I will travel anywhere in the world the society needs me to go because you know how big of a fan I am for the society, right? But without them, we wouldn't have this conference, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, like some of the people that really leaned in to help us. But big audience that became virtual. Now we have this 5 years to celebrate for this virtual conference.
Man, absolutely. And my thing is, like, how did it become how did it become virtual?
You know what? What happened was we were getting ready to go live with the North Carolina conference, is where I'm based in North Carolina, and they called
Right.
me. They were like, Michelle, this thing called COVID, right? So we no longer can do this live. And they said, can we do something that's virtual? And of course, I leaned in, and I was like, absolutely. Let's lean in. Let's do a virtual conference, and here we are today.
You know what? And what's special because it's been an impact in mine, and I say it to it like this. I mean, you guys literally created something that was unprecedented. And if you look at our culture, you look at our history, previously, if many people don't know it, Negro League baseball statistics and numbers and records were finally accepted by the major leagues, meaning our record books they mattered. But the Negro Leagues were very special because we started our own league, and from that, it birthed some of the greatest baseball players of all time. And so I get excited, Michelle, because in starting our own for multiple sclerosis, Black MS Summit, and doing things for our people, there are so many things that are getting birthed, so much fruit that is going to be present because of what you started. And for anybody who's listening in, the same is true for you. There is power when you start your own. Be that bridge over troubled water, like Aretha used to say, Michelle. Come on.
There we go. Yeah, we hope, Tyler and I hope that as your host, you're taking away from this conference as much energy as we're putting in. We hope you're pulling it out of it. One of the best things about this virtual environment, Tyler, is we get to reach so many people.
Come
Right.
on.
So when we do these conferences in person, which we are just did the one here in North Carolina in March in person, and I think there will be other ones around the U.S. But when we do them in person, they're a different experience when we're here. So this year we have an amazing soul with us. Don Tucker Sr. is going to join us first time. Come on, Don, and tell us about the first time when you attended the summit.
Oh, wow. Well, the summit, it's a wonderful thing. I watched the other day and I was just in awe. Like you guys, I love it. Like I really don't know what to say about it. It
Hey,
was thank you for that. I mean,
hey,
we
Oh,
needed that.
we love you, Don. Come on.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, Don, really quickly. So if you don't mind bringing everybody into your world, what was it like? Your MS diagnosis. Just walk through us.
Some of your
What
impressions.
happened?
Okay, so 2008, I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS, and I was at work one day, and I had this tingling feeling in my hands and feet. I went home.
Mm.
Next day I got up, and from the mid chest down, I felt that sensation. So
Mm.
went to the hospital. They said you either have MS or Guillain-Barré syndrome, and it turned out to be relapsing remitting MS. And they put me on Rebif, which is an injectable for 3 times a week. And I was on that for a while. It kept me out of work for about 6 months. In 2015, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a form of cancer,
Yeah.
and I had a stem cell transplant. And I'm in the hospital, and I'm asking, what's going to happen with my MS with this stem cell transplant, because I heard that whatever's in your immune system should be gone, but
Mhm.
nobody could really tell me. So if anybody out there listening can tell me about MS and a stem cell transplant, I'd love to hear
Put it in the comments and follow up with Don.
it.
Man, put it in and matter of fact, Don is broadcasting from the hospital right now. Come on.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sitting on the floor.
Thank you, Don, for leaning
Yeah,
in
no
and everything.
problem.
We
I wasn't going to miss
appreciate you.
this. I really wasn't going to miss this.
No, we appreciate you, Don. So, is there anything that really particularly resonated with you from when you attended the conference? Any highlights you want to share? Give us some of your insights.
I don't know, Michelle. It was, I mean, from what I'm used to hearing, I'm not used to hearing a lot about Black folk and MS.
Come on.
Mm,
Come on.
Until I saw
Come
you
on.
guys, I'm like, well, wait. Ironically, the first person I ever knew with MS was Montel Williams, the talk show host. But
yeah.
after that, it was all, the blonde hair, the blue eye, if you're from the northern European countries,
Mhm.
less sunlight, you're more prone to MS.
Mhm,
And for a long time, you go on the MS website and that's all you see.
Yes, sir.
mhm.
But now, nah, not anymore. But I mean, it was just so informative, and like I want to be there. I said, when I
Yeah.
retire from my job at Amtrak, I'm working for the MS Society.
Come on. Come
Plain
on.
and
Come
simple.
on, brother. Come
Plain and
on.
simple.
Come on. And real quickly, Don, in your own words, real quick, because I want you to be able to birth this. Why is the summit so important in your eyes? Why is this? Why is today, these past why is this so important, sir?
It it's very informative, and it helps connect people. I mean, even though I would prefer personally, because I just like to meet people in person, it reaches so many people around the country. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for the summit, I would have never met you guys.
Yeah.
So it's important. It gets information out. It dispels rumors or myths, and it lets
Just
us know that and it tells us how MS affects us differently than any other race.
yeah, we love that. We love that, Don.
My God.
We thank you, Tyler and I both, and everyone that's listening. Thank you for just like sitting on the floor in the hospital room and just leaning in to be here with us today. We appreciate you. We count on you for coming back. Thank you, and bringing more people next year when you come.
You know it.
Out broadcasting it. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Don. We appreciate you.
Not a problem, Michelle. Tyler, it's good
Thank
talking to
you.
you guys.
Love it, man. It's so great to get that new perspective. You know what I'm saying, Michelle? And to see how far the summit has come. That's why we want to give you your flowers today, my dear. It is a real celebration of the work being done within our community as at large. All right. And you heard it from our community today, Michelle.
Right. Yeah, this summit has always been about the Black MS community, our voices, Tyler, our story. We're thankful for this space, but it's really all of you that make this summit possible, right? So we want to now welcome Akeem McMichael. Akeem is a member of the MS Community Engagement Advisory Committee. They need to kind of shorten that a little bit. We're going to find an acronym.
Come on.
Acronym for that in a little bit. But Committee for the National Multiple Society. Akeem, we welcome you to the call.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Tyler. And I want to say a special, special thank you to you both again for making this event and being a host year after year, because it keeps me motivated more than anything. I don't know about other people, but it keeps me motivated to come back year after year. And I share with other people to come back year after year, because like, hey, you have to hear these hosts. I don't know, sometimes I might forget y'all's name throughout this year. But guess what? I was like, you come to the Black MS Experience Summit, you'll get to see two great people that's doing great things. I'm glad to be back. I am Akeem McMichael, and I was diagnosed with MS in 2015. I'm a part of the Black MS Community Engagement Advisory Committee, right, for the National MS Society, where I've been for at least over 3 years. And since this is the 5th year, I know at least been 3 or 4 years I've been a part of this committee. And it has given me opportunity to not only give feedback for this event, but to do things throughout the year for the community, for the MS community, and specifically the Black MS community year round. This work matters to me because, again, we need voices out there, whether they look like me directly, meaning a Black male, or whether they look like my Black queens out there. And it doesn't have to necessarily be Black as well, people of color, or as well as anybody with MS, but especially us, because as Don was saying, when I first got diagnosed, I went to the great doctor on the computer, and the doctor said nobody with MS looked like me. So I'm just saying, that's why I attended this summit for 4 years, because when I was first diagnosed, those first, let's see, this is my 9th year, so my first 4 year or 5 years, I had to fight and say, hey, we have it too. If you all want our money, then you have to include us as well. And not even our money, but we need the research to heal us as well. So I've been advocating to make sure that people from rural areas come in and see their doctors. I tell doctors, hey, let's try to go out here and make sure we get to these rural communities, to these communities that's under subpar as far as healthcare goes, because some people don't have a voice. And so that's why I do this work, so I can be a voice, because I have such a great voice, I've been told anyway. So I use that voice to do this work. I'm just saying. So I'm very thankful to the National MS Society for making this space and creating this space, because without them, our voices would not be heard. I want to make sure we give a very, very special thank you to our sponsors as well for continuing their support. We have Genentech as well as Novartis. And then we're going to come down as well. We have Amgen, and then Sandoz and Sanofi. I know how those sponsors can be. So I knocked them out. I've listened to you all so many. I've listened to you all so many years. I've been listening to you all. I've been listening to you all for so many years. And so I want to thank the sponsors for making this possible as well. We're so thankful for our hosts again, Mr. Tyler Campbell and Miss Michelle Witherspoon, for being a part of this space and this summit for so many years. I do thank you. And I learn something new every year as well. Michelle, I didn't know you started this like this long ago. We have to make sure we write a little book and make sure we put that information out there. But most of all, before I close out and before I end, I want to make sure I thank you. Yes, you, everyone that's on this computer screen that's here for us, that's here for you and for us, because we will not be able to do this without the attendees, the members of the community showing their support, showing their love, sharing their stories, and all of that. Because of you, we're here. Like, I got to meet people who said that they were around when MS didn't even have anyone in the books that looked like us. I was like, well, dang, at least I knew of Richard Pryor, I knew of Montel, I knew some of those other people. But when this lady last year said, oh, there was no one. I had to convince my parents that Black people do have it. So that is why I attend this summit year after year, because I get to meet people that and hear stories like I didn't know it was possible. So I want to make sure I say thank you. This is the 5th year. Thank you for this summit. We want to take this time to make sure that we love each other, because without you, there will be no us, and without us, there will be no you. So this is the 5th year of the virtual Black MS Experience Summit, and we want to make sure we take this moment to say thank you.
Hey there, I'm Nisha Fredericks, and my pronouns are she and her. At the Society, we're steadfast in our commitment to ensuring that no one faces MS alone. Experiences like this summit exemplify this commitment.
It is important to have a space to connect with other members of the Black community living with MS, because it allows us to come together in a safe space to celebrate our culture, address issues like health disparities, and also share our successes with like-minded individuals.
The community that surrounds the Black MS Summit has created such a powerful network that goes beyond just the construct of what we sit in and what we listen to. It allows us to feel empowered, take over a sense of quality of our life, and help our family see beyond just what is in front of us.
My favorite part about the summit is that I feel that the content is designed specifically for me and for people who look like me.
My favorite part of the Black MS experience is the open communication between all of the people from around the country, people that you don't know, people that are unaware of Black people having MS.
My favorite part of the Black MS Experience Summit is being informed by leading scientific and healthcare experts and connecting with fellow Black and African Americans living with multiple sclerosis.
Well, the Black MS Experience Summit, it has impacted me by having me realize I have a voice to be heard and shared among many people.
We have a unique experience in America. We are uniquely developed physiologically. So the highlight for me is hearing the different stories and the educational sessions that will help me to compare my experience, what I'm going through, with theirs.
It just feels so good to be seen, recognized, and to know that my thoughts matter about this disease that affects everybody.
Having a space to connect with other members of the Black MS community means I'm not alone in our fight against multiple sclerosis.
Michelle, get that mute button off.
See, I'm tearing up, right? Like you can see it, right? It's a powerful reminder of who we are and what we can do.
I know emotional time for you, and it you know, what else is there left to say except that it's been amazing to be a part and host this thing for the fifth virtual Black MS experience, Michelle. Like this summit, to celebrate it and to be able to do these things with you and us as a community, this is special. We've achieved it.
We have done it. And this is Tyler and I's last year hosting this. We are passing the torch. We are excited. We are grateful. We are honored. I'm about to bust out in the ugly cry because you know this is my baby for years. So thank you all for everything you've done. And thank you, Tyler, for being a great co-host.
Hey, I'm here for you, my sister. Those are tears of joy, y'all. And we will continue to further this thing. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody. We love you all.
Love you.